So today was Earth Day, and it's one of my favorite holidays because I love the earth, and everybody also should love the earth. We all live here, we all share it. And I mean, I know there's a lot of people, especially living here in Texas, a lot of people are like financially incentivized to do jobs and things that are long term maybe not great for the earth. Um, but at least on this one day, I think we can all kind of agree that we should take better care of the earth, or at least make some minor changes to try to make the world a better place and leave it better than we found it. So I love that feeling, especially since it's in spring when everything is so green. The plants are all blooming and everything feels like there's new life in the city. So I volunteered for a trash pickup day on Friday, and it was kind of funny because I thought I was just volunteering to kind of like go and pick up trash around the lake, and there was an option where you could go in a boat, like a kayak or something, and paddle around and pick up the trash, because I always see trash kind of drifts to the shore, and there's like along the edge of the lake there's sometimes like trash collecting up along the edge, and there's no good way to pick it up other than going on a kayak and picking it out. So I wanted to do that, but then somehow I accidentally signed up to be the like volunteer leader. It was a huge event actually, and there was like hundreds of people there, and there were I think 3 to 5 lead volunteers, and I was one of them. And we just kind of had to like herd people around and show people where to go, and hope for the best. They're all volunteers, you can't really tell them what to do. So we just kind of like hand out stuff, make sure everybody gets back on time to get their snacks and stuff. And overall it was a good day, everybody was really happy. I found out that they actually host something like this every 2 weeks on Sundays. Next time I'll go paddle out and just do a little cleanup, and I'll do it a little bit more often, and I'm happy to do it. So happy Earth Day. I hope you guys do something good for the earth too. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention one thing that I've been doing lately is looking at the Inflation Reduction Act, which is the bill that was passed by the Biden administration a few years ago. Even though it's called the Inflation Reduction Act, it's basically a big list of programs that they're funding that all have kind of environmental impact, or addressing issues caused by climate change and that kind of thing. And if you look at the website, there's a huge list of things that are funded: building improvements, are they technology, science, like all kinds of crazy stuff. And like most famously, at least for me, the one I know about is the incentives for electric vehicles, right? So you can get up to $7,500 of tax rebate when you buy an electric car right now, which is awesome. But the one thing that I went down a rabbit hole today, being Earth Day, was the floating offshore wind turbines in California. So basically, there's a whole lot more wind offshore in the ocean than there is over land for a variety of reasons, but it's much harder to access, right? It's much harder to build a wind turbine in the middle of the ocean than it is on land. And even more so on the west coast, because the water is much deeper, and so you can't actually anchor the turbine in the ground. It has to be floating because it's just too deep to be realistic. So in the US, our offshore wind is very minimal compared to Europe, but on the east coast there's some, and it's anchored in the ground right offshore. On the west coast, there's almost none. The reason being that all the water is too deep, and there is not yet a financially good solution to floating wind turbines. In addition to having to build these floating platforms that are like cheap and robust and stable, you also have to run transmission lines from the ocean back to the city where the power is going to be used. So these are two extra challenges compared to land-based wind turbines that haven't really been figured out yet. One thing that the IRA is doing is putting a lot of money into R&D and kind of kickstarting some of these projects. So I watched most of this conference on offshore wind that took place last year, where they're talking about kicking off all these programs and what they're going to do and stuff, and it was kind of interesting. It was interesting to watch how politicians talk about this stuff. But I did sign up to attend the second annual conference in Sacramento. I don't know if I'm actually going to go there. I hope I can just watch it online and maybe get something positive out of it. I'm going to be brainstorming some ideas about if starting a company in this space is something that I want to put a lot of time and energy into, because I think it's a big win if it works and there's an opportunity there, and it's a hard problem to solve, and if we make progress on it, it's a big deal, and there's government assistance to work on it. So a lot of good things about it. I just want to see if I can find something that's a right-sized kind of problem, something that I can actually make progress on in the next few years. I just got back from yoga class. My legs feel torn apart, but my soul feels whole. My soul is whole. It was really good. Painful in the moment, but felt good afterwards. So I'm happy. Did a run today. Got to sit out on the patio and watch the lake for most of the morning. That was awesome. I love this time of year. It's so perfect. The weather is beautiful. It's not too hot, not too cold. It's sunny. There's flowers. There's trees. Everything is green. I just feel good every day, and I love it. And I think that's a good place to end it today.